Call to order the meeting of the Personnel Committee on March 8th, 2023 at 4:09 p.m. First up is the approval of minutes. The approval of the minutes from the January 11th, 2023 Personnel Committee meeting. And I'll need a motion from one of our committee members.
I move approval.
Great. Alder Radefrada moves
Second.
approval. And any comments from the commission?
No.
Nope. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item is public appearances for non-agenda items. We have no one in chambers. We have no one online, so I think we can go ahead and move on. Next is agenda items. Agenda item 4A, Resolution R 5423, amending the 2023 general fund budget for employee referral of police officers program. And I'll take a motion from the committee to start.
So we need to approve this? Move?
Yeah.
I move.
Great. A motion to
Second.
approve made by Alder Radefrada and Sarah, Chief, whichever.
Yeah. So we have a recommendation of a 2023 kind of pilot of an employee referral bonus program for police officers. So any city employee would be eligible for this. So if they're able to refer a police officer who gets hired here, if they're an entry-level officer, then the employee who referred them would receive $1,500. If it's a lateral, meaning it's somebody with prior sworn law enforcement experience, then the referring employee would receive $2,000. So you can see in the referral program description that was included in the packet that we have it broken out by basically the steps in which someone would receive payment. So they're not getting $1,500 upon the hire, but as they work their way through probation, the academy probation, and then being here for a little bit of time. So there's program rules in here, things like HR is not eligible for employee referral bonus, either as elected officials or anyone in charge of hiring decisions. So we wouldn't be eligible for that. But basically only one person is eligible for a referral bonus. So even if two people were talking to somebody and they list two people, only one person can get it. They have to list the name of the person on their application at the time of applying. There's no exceptions on going back. It's, of course, subject to tax withholding and Wisconsin retirement. So we're really hopeful that by implementing a new referral bonus program that this will give some incentive for employees to talk about why they like working here and try to draw in new people. So I'm giving this a shot. And then I have Chief here to answer any questions you might have or about police officer recruitment.
Yeah, so do you want to talk? Or you...
Yes, I can just add on. Currently, we'll be down as of the end of this week. We're going to be down 11 vacancies for our total sworn of 55. That's a big number if you're talking about 11 versus a total sworn of 55. What's going on is it's a number of different things. First and foremost, what's going on in the nation. There's been law enforcement has been under the spotlight in a negative manner since 2020, and there's that big push where because we're under such a strong microscope, you have the reluctancy of people to apply for a law enforcement position. In addition to that, you saw a mass exodus of experienced personnel that decided, I had enough of this, I'm just going to retire. And that's throughout the state, throughout the country, of what has occurred in this profession. So the recruiting and retention piece is very difficult. On top of that, departments are trying to figure out ways, how do we recruit, what is the retention rate? And it doesn't help when other cities are offering the employee a signing bonus, or such as what's going on with the Dane County Sheriffs. They're offering lateral transfers up to $110,000 a year to work for them. So what's going to happen? People are going to leave and work for places where they think, okay, I get better pay here. It's no longer about the organization. It's where am I going to get paid the most? And oftentimes what I say is we're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, especially in Dane County. The people who want to live in Dane County, they can pretty much apply for any law enforcement department. Many of them are going to look for signing bonuses, but yet that person has not proven themselves for the organization. I'd rather pay an employee for a referral. The employee who's going to refer somebody is referring it to somebody who they're going to want to work with. So they're already somewhat vetting that candidate for us. In addition to that is it takes almost 2 years from the day of hiring for just a regular officer to go through the academy. That's 5 months of academy. You talk about a minimum of 3 months for field training. That can be up to 6 months. And then the probationary period after that. And the probationary period can be up to a year from the date that they're, I believe, leave the academy. So it's an extensive amount of training that goes into that person, cost and labor intensive, to get somebody to say where they can handle assignment and somewhat efficient, and that takes about 2 years. And that level of turnover that we're experiencing here at Fitchburg is something where it's a little easier, a little more palatable if we can get that lateral transfer. That lateral transfer is what that's telling us is that they're certified through the state of Wisconsin. So that cuts off 5 months of training at the academy. They don't have to attend the academy. So now we can at least start our field training status. We have had some good success in our lateral transfers. We hired one recently that had approximately 4 years of experience that came from one side of the state to the other. What that does is they still go through a field training period to acclimate themselves to how things are done in the city of Fitchburg. But this particular individual that I'm talking about is accelerated. He's doing things very well, learning things very quickly. His field training status is probably going to be a couple of months or maybe a month and a half versus 3 months, which means the process to get that person out there where they can work by themselves is cut down. And for me, I would prefer to find a lateral, but I don't think we should be paying the lateral transfer the bonus. We should pay our employees here and actually give them the credit for helping us recruit.
So, so I think this is a good idea or another tool, okay, to attract, more people to apply for the position. And my question is, I am looking at one of the things that I want to recommend is to increase the amount, because for entry-level police officer hire, $1,500 is, I think for me, it's low. Maybe we should bump up to $3,000, and the transfer and the lateral transfer to $5,000. I will feel, because most of the private company are working at those levels of higher. So I don't know. That one is my recommendation is to maybe bump up these, these bonuses. The other thing I want to, I want to mention that maybe this could be a good pilot program, and maybe in the future we can apply this to the rest of the city. To everyone, every department, So maybe we can see how it works here with the police department, and if something is successful, maybe we can, it would be great to apply this to the rest of the departments, So the other thing that I want to clarify, in one of the program rules, in one of the bullets, they say the referred employee must be actively employed. Can you clarify that? It's going to be part-time, full-time?
We just want to make sure someone knows that if they leave the organization or are no longer employed, we're not going to send them a check, 6 months after their new hire's been on. So they have to be currently and actively employed. But if they're like on a leave of absence, they're still eligible for it. If they go part-time, they're still eligible. Yep.
And the other question that I have is, so the new hire, suppose that someone refers someone, it shouldn't be a relative, isn't it? How are you going to deal with that?
So we haven't discussed that, like the nepotism. I don't think we have a problem with that in the police department currently. I don't know that we have any family members working with each other.
We don't have that, no.
But what happens if someone say, I want to be my brother, I have a brother and this police officer, I want to bring, my question is, I am opening the question for discussion because it wasn't in the rules.
Yeah.
Because we can, at my workplace, we have this, but we cannot bring relatives, okay? So this is what I ask in the question is, it's something that, because we are setting the rules, so if we set the rule, we set the rule right from beginning. no, we are gonna start up, because then if we start up that changing thing,
Right.
maybe we are losing some of the trust in the program. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the question is, I don't know, this is the question. Have you discussed that,
Mhm.
and what do you think about this?
In all honesty, we haven't discussed that. We haven't thought about what happens
Okay.
if someone refers a family member. I mean, as long as there's not a family member, a supervisor who, their sibling or their aunt or uncle or whomever is reporting to that other family member. We try to avoid,
Okay.
those types of relationship structures. So, I mean, if someone truly thought their brother would be a great officer and they put him down, but we don't. We can put something in here too if the personnel team feels like, hey, we don't want family members to be.
It will be
referred.
more transparent and not and fair. You will avoid a lot of problem in the future in doing that. That's my.
I think you can't prevent a family member from asking another family member to apply and they get hired. You can't prevent the hiring,
Yeah.
but you can prevent
The bonus.
Getting
the bonus.
for it.
That
I don't know.
family referral would not be,
Exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's to avoid
Loss.
problem in the future.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. Yeah,
Right.
it wouldn't
That
have occurred
is.
to me.
Yeah.
And that's something
Yeah.
that they do at your company
Yeah.
with referral programs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can amend this policy.
We can amend the policy,
Okay.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, but if we do it right from now.
Right
You know what
now,
I mean? Because
yeah.
you don't want in the future, something happen and then
Yes.
you have people that they are not happy. Well, I don't know if this is real or no. You know what I mean?
Right.
Believe me, I have seen it.
Yeah.
So in order to prevent all of
Yes.
that, you set the rules from the beginning, and
Mhm.
Yep.
and
Do you want to make a motion to amend the policy?
yes, I will make a motion to amend the policy for that no family. What is it? Relative.
Family is excluded from, family referral will be excluded
Excluded.
from
Family.
the
Yeah.
The bonus.
The bonus.
The bonus.
And I don't think we need, well, I'll second it just in case anybody needs a second.
And then the other thing that I will to also amend is to increase the amount.
Let's do one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Any further discussion about the relatives?
I don't know. Joe.
No, I don't have. I have questions about other things, but I'll wait.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a vote on that amendment then. All in favor of amending the program regarding relatives, say aye.
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 Motion carries. And now it sounds like you have another amendment you'd like.
Yeah, my other amendment is to increase the amount, the bonuses for the entry level police to 3,000 and lateral 5,000.
Is the,
I don't know if we have the money, but
yeah, I mean, was the amount discussed? Was there guidance from Misty about the level that you could go to?
No, it was discussion between command staff and HR, just trying to pick an amount that would be something that could easily pass. We were a little worried
Mhm.
about having it too much
Okay.
because we wanted to make sure we could have some type of employee referral bonus program. But I know the resolution that finance put together has right now it'd be $19,000 total just to keep. That's the cost as is right now. So if we were to increase it, it'll go up at least double that. So
I don't know. I throw it to you. You can. If you
Well,
don't feel
so-
comfortable, don't do it. But I was thinking because I am looking for the private sector,
Mhm.
how those bonuses look like, but I don't know the government. You know what I mean?
So I'd be interested, did you do research for other departments? Obviously, you said that there's a lot of bonuses for people that are
Sign-on
incoming
bonuses,
rather
yeah.
than internal.
Mhm.
Is there a standard? Do you have any sense of where that is?
It's all over the place,
It is.
but I can give you some numbers. We had one lateral leave from Fitchburg to Wauwatosa. That was a $7,500 signing bonus. So the employee that left here, and that it's in stages, goes in stages for the first 2 years once he's off probation. But it accumulates. The promise is that he's going to have $7,500 in bonuses for the first, I believe, 2 years or once he's off probation.
And that's a sign-on bonus, not a referral
Not a
bonus.
referral.
So two different types of
Yeah.
bonuses.
Right.
So, but do you think that the referral bonuses is going to be more successful than the signing bonuses?
I think it's fair.
Okay.
I want to reward the employee we have,
Mm-hmm.
and that's also part of retention.
Mm-hmm.
They're here, they're working, and they're also going out and helping us recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why not give that to somebody that's out, we already know and that's doing their job here for Fitchburg,
Yeah, I can see that.
versus somebody we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and we give these bonuses, and in a year or two, they decide to leave to another department.
And another question, because now we talk about in the who should not be who should not be able to refer a person in the police department because of the rank.
Well, we just said that, did we have something in there?
Yes,
about
we
that?
do.
Um,
I don't get the bonus if I refer somebody.
Yeah, we just
It's
said
not
managers
department
with
heads.
hiring authority over the referred candidates aren't eligible. So if a lieutenant makes they wouldn't be eligible because they're part of the hiring decision.
Okay.
Sergeants would be eligible.
Oh, sergeant and okay, maybe
Sergeants
you,
and below.
maybe you need to
Put that in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that they structure the rank and maybe it's you clarify with the
Okay.
people in your department because in my work like manager up we don't get the bonus.
Right.
So we should tackle that, but we should keep discussing
Yeah.
the amounts first. So one of the questions I have about the amount for the different positions is this is specifically a period of time from March through the end of the year, end of the calendar year, and then at that point we'd reassess and
Exactly.
potentially either renew the program or maybe change the program in whatever way is appropriate.
Exactly.
Would it be, I mean, like, there is an option to try this at this
Mhm.
level, especially since we know the budget can sustain it. And then in December, if we don't think it's been successful, then we could increase the amount to see. Or, I mean, we could try, if we do want to increase the amount, though, I think we should make sure that we work with Misty before the council meeting to make sure that all those things can be updated prior to the passage.
Right. Because it's already on a direct referral for Tuesday's council meeting.
Okay, yeah, and I know Misty's pretty good about working through that,
Yeah.
and
And the reason we're trying to kind of push it through a little bit sooner is because we're trying to get some hires in before the summer academy. So we're hoping that a push from March until May, June will be able to be a time where we'll get some employee referrals.
well, I'm open to increasing the amount.
Or maybe there should be more gap between the entry level of the lateral police, like what I mean, like
Because a lateral candidate has a lot
lateral
of
candidate
value.
that higher, is maybe they're like more experience and I don't know. If maybe we can the lateral police increase it to 3,000. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
kind of the double the entry level. I don't know. Make it more like attractive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's another $1,000.
I think it's valid.
Oh.
Go ahead.
This is a clarifying question because I don't have my packet in front of me. I'm driving, but you said it's 19,000. Where is the funding coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from the police vacancy savings account, and the estimated is the 19,000 plus related benefits cost. So the way the program's structured right now, it would be 19,000 from police vacancies.
Okay, I figured that. I just wanted to ask.
Yep.
Yeah. Salary
So-
savings we're not spending because of.
And we've had, and let me think, I think we've been down 8 bodies since the beginning of the year.
Oh,
So if you look at the salary savings, we're already into March. And it's January and February. That gives you a rough idea of what
Yeah.
we
It's quite
have
a
there.
bit.
Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, it couldn't hurt to increase the amounts to for down 11 positions, and we have the budget. If you are open
Right.
to that and interested in using that as a tool, I think it would be worth trying. And then we basically could reassess in December
Yeah.
Right.
at that point because we'll have to reauthorize. Do you?
So I will introduce an amendment to this. What you want to?
Yeah, I think you have an amendment on the table to increase the entry level to 3,000 and the lateral police to 5,000.
Yeah, but I
think that was-
didn't get. I don't think that there is support for that.
I'm open to it. I guess I just
Oh,
don't
yeah?
know. I guess I just don't know what's feasible in terms of the budget. That's the only thing I'm hesitating
Well,
on in
it's
terms
hard
of.
because we don't even know how many we would actually hire from this. We might hire 0, or it might be all
Yeah,
11.
what if it's
right?
11? Which should be a good problem to have.
Just to give you an idea,
That would be the next question. With this, like, it's to the point where the referrals kind of go above what's in the vacancy budget.
well, I was just gonna give you, some ideas. We're down 11 bodies.
Yeah.
We just did a process, and we have an opening hiring process. So just to give you the difficulty of what this is, I just came up from an appointment for 13 interviews at phase 2 of the interview process. There was over 25 that applied, and we're lucky if we get 4 out of this. And 1 is eligible, 1 out of all of that is eligible for a referral. So I honestly, I mean, anything can happen, but what are the chances of 11 referrals coming over for this?
They don't cancel.
I highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the referral bonus program goes from when council approves it too, so we wouldn't be able to give a referral bonus for the one.
Well, the person isn't hired yet.
So you're thinking but did they put his name down on his application?
Yeah, they brought it up today in the interview as why they did this, why they applied.
And also the money is not, we are not giving the money right away, we're
Yeah.
giving phases, so they're always gonna be,
And there will be
Money
vacancy
there.
savings for many
Really?
months.
Because one
Right.
vacancy equals how many savings for you? It's probably over 100,000.
With benefits, yes. I think total for what I was told per month, and we're gonna be down another 3 bodies at the end of this week, which gets us up to 11. But 8 bodies is about savings about $45,000 a month.
Oh,
45,000?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
roughly. Yes, a month.
so are the people that are leaving because of the salary, this is the main reason?
The recent ones are for the salary,
Salary?
yes.
Because they are being recruited by other, like Dane County and
Dane
other
County.
municipalities that they have more money, they're throwing their money.
Yes. Dane County is offering up to $110,000. So that's what you're seeing right now.
And will match their sick leave, so they don't
Sick
lose
leave.
any of that.
Oh, really?
All that sick leave they've accrued over the years, which
Oh,
they would
really?
have thought, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that one is big.
Yes. So that's the biggest of them all. It's not Sun Prairie taking somebody from Fitchburg, somebody taking somebody from Middleton. It's usually the surrounding counties coming into Dane County that we're all looking to hire.
yeah. Could we, so I'm comfortable, I mean, I don't think we're gonna run out of money, that doesn't seem too concerning to me, and I would be supportive of increasing the amounts. I think the one question procedurally is, do we, there's a reverb now. Do we increase it now through an amendment, or do we wait until council and we have a chance to look at the budget and see what's possible? Or
No,
we
because
can
we
do
can
both?
recommend it because
Okay.
this is what they feel,
So
They're-
right now we
yeah,
have,
we can recommend to council, council then can go back to the original fund.
yeah,
Right,
and I'll probably propose it as amended, and then we can figure out
yeah,
You know what I mean?
the
exactly.
appropriate language.
Yeah.
Great, so any thoughts, Joe, about we're looking at an increase from 1,500 to 3,000 for entry level and 2,000 to 5,000 for lateral officers.
Yeah, it's in the budget, let's go for it.
All right. All in favor of making those increases, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, and you'll talk with Ms. D about
Yes,
what the
yep.
accounts, the
And then
changes.
I'll also add to the program rules, identify who in the police department is ineligible, like lieutenants, deputy chief, and higher.
I think we are bleeding, so we need to do,
Do you want to do that through an amendment too, just?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be good.
Um,
Yeah.
well,
You want to amend it to clarify the positions and what the rules are in terms of which positions can,
the other, it's like,
are eligible for the bonus?
yes, so how do we say it?
Well, so, yeah, I guess I can do it.
Okay.
We'll amend the program rules so that we can clarify which positions are
Mhm.
eligible and not eligible for the
Yeah.
bonus.
Yep.
For your department, yeah.
All in favor of that change, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And so we'll go ahead and, if there's no more discussion.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and take a vote on the final amended resolution. All in favor of R 5423 as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks so much, Chief.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to resolution R 1423, authorizing increase in compensation for the city of Fitchburg elected officials effective May 1st, 2024. And I'll take a motion from the committee.
So move.
All right, motion to approve made by Alder Maldonado.
All right, so this is a discussion item only because it'll go to council for voting on and more discussion. So if you have any questions or wanted to talk about it.
We are not going to vote here? No, because we are,
Because it's for council.
For us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
no
discussion.
motion.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
okay.
so sorry.
Yeah.
So let's,
Oh.
we'll
no, because
Whenever
here it
send
said
your motion.
personal. Oh,
I
because
take
it's
it back.
oh, it's for discussion because we have the resolution in front of us. This is what is the confusion. Okay.
Yeah, so if you have any questions or wanted to clarify anything or talk about it at all, you're certainly welcome to do that.
Yes, I have a question. I think we need to include here a clause that because the last increase was in 1997, okay, and we shouldn't wait for another 20 years to revise this. So I think we need to put a clause there that we need to revise this compensation like every 3 years at least, or we need to provide the council member an adjustment of COLA too. You know, because we are also working here. You know what I mean? Inflation also affects us too. So we can choose of, we do a revision of this compensation every 3 years and compare how we are, you know, how we are doing with another municipality and also the growth of the city, because the more the city the grow, you know, I mean, this is what we need to understand. In 1997, maybe the population was 10,000 people less. And we have half of the committee that we have to be part right now. And now we are, the average committee that we need to be, at least is 3 or 4, some of that, you know, they are. So it's plus all the mandatory meeting that we need to assist, plus all the reading that we had to do, plus, you know, amendment, council, you know, budget time, CIP plan. I think the growth of the city is making us to realize that the job of an alderman have changed, evolved in the last 20 years, or the time commitment. And I think that our time commitment has a price, because most of us work full time, and we do this because we don't do this for the money, but I think we need to think about future people that they want to join this council. We need, if young people want to come with young kids, or people we don't have maybe the employer that give us the flexibility, or because we are in high paid jobs that we can do this, we are not going to allow certain portion of the population to be part of the city council. So I think we need to revise this compensation like every 3 years, and it shall be adjusted by inflation too, or by COLA. I don't know, that one is my recommendation.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a part of this is just like a philosophical issue, like what is this role? And I mean, the current pay essentially makes it a volunteer role. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody's going to do this as their full-time job. It's not realistic. And to Julia's point, the only people that you're going to get, I mean, for the most part, are people that are either retired or, you know, just have very flexible jobs, and usually no children. I think there's only 2 council members that have children under 18. Yeah, I agree, and I think this specific pay is keeping a lot of people out of these types of positions that would normally seek them out, and that, to me, that's an equity issue. You know, there's a lot of both sort of the mechanical of all the things you have to do, but also the different skill sets that you have to have, and the stress that, you know, some of the more tense issues take on people, that just a lot of people I've talked to about potentially serving in office for those reasons have stepped back. And I think, you know, maybe an increase in the amount that we pay would change that. I don't know if it would. I don't know if there's anything we could pay to, you know, change folks' minds that would otherwise consider this. But I agree. It's like, and the numbers are sort of listed right here for other cities. Many of them are double what ours are, and
Yeah,
I think we need to reconsider this.
and the other thing I want to mention, and want this in the record, is Fitchburg is the third largest city in Dane County, so we are the largest before, Madison, Sun Prairie, Fitchburg. So, and I think that growth is part of this, and also I think we need to make equity a central part in all the decisions that we make in this city. And I think this one, increasing this is going to be, what Joe mentioned, taking into account equity. And the other thing is, I am surprised the jump between the mayor. The mayor has from 10,000 to 25,000, but Alder's only for 5,000 to 7,000. Is the jump from mayor is too high compared to the jump to the Alders, I will say that, we should increase a little bit more the Alders, and go from 5 to 8. And maybe the council president should be $1,000 more, because the council president also has a lot of work to do if they are doing effectively. So I think there should be a gap that separates the council president with the regular alder. $500, I don't think that is enough. Maybe we'll go 1,000 and reduce maybe the mayor's salary 10 to 20 and allocate the other 5,000 to the other position. I don't know. This is my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that the mayor position also is growing a lot in the city, but I don't know. This is my
I also
position.
just don't understand why we can't include why that's specifically called out that it can't be included as a cost of living adjustment regularly. Like I guess I don't know the rationale why
Yeah.
it specifically says that the intention is for this to be last for a long time
Mm-hmm.
into the future. Although I think the raise is actually just 97 to 2023. We're raising it. That probably would be what it might have been with a COLA increase all that time. I don't understand why we can't have these positions be included in the COLA increase, or it's some sort of annual increase, even if it wasn't the standard 3% or whatever we typically do, but some sort of annual increase so that we don't have to revisit this every 10, 20 years, because it can be a hot button. It seems like we should set some sort of...
Yeah, exactly. If we already set up now and say, we are going to revise this every 3-year period,
Yeah.
so the next council and the next mayor, they know in 3 years, we need to have that, and no one is going to be, it's a hot potato that we don't want to do, it's so controversial, because this is what happened in the last 20 years. But it's time to talk about. We need to talk about this. This is why we're here. Since 97, it's insane.
I also think that a data point on how much time alders and the mayor spend working per week or per month would be valuable. So, I mean, the base level is, if you do the bare minimum of this job, it's all the committees that you're on, plus council, plus committee of the whole. If you do even a slight minimum, it's answering people's emails, it's sending out newsletters, it's going to events, it's having discussions with constituents about things. Like, all of those things sort of add up, and it would be good to get a sense from the current council members, and maybe even reach out to previous council members, just to have a survey that estimates how much time they spend, and if you could calculate those averages down to how much does that actually add up to per hour, right? Because I remember hearing, a mayor is supposed to work 10 hours, it's like a point, what is it, like a 0.25 position, like you're supposed to spend 25% of a work week doing that. That's what I was told when I started here. And then an alder should be about half that, which is the rationale for the pay, but that's not the case. Like, none of us spend 5 hours a week doing this job. It's just not, it's not realistic. Gabriella doesn't, I know for sure. But, yeah, I think we should get a sense of that, and if we have that data point, I think it would be more of a compelling argument to say, like, alders probably make, $8 an hour if you average
Yeah.
out their. I'm just making that
it's
up,
probably a
but
lot less than that. I was thinking more
Yeah.
like 26.
and then say really what it is, which is a volunteer job. I mean, with a small stipend, and then not to mention, like, we put miles on our car. We
Pay
Um,
Pay
graphic,
for a cell phone.
pay graphic
Yeah.
design.
Yeah, we use our
cell phone.
hours, right, our time on the phone. We, probably put forth a lot of other expenses in doing this job. We have to maintain a website, because we don't have our own websites at the city.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things we dole out, both in our terms of our time, our money, and, pro bono, is that, no, not pro bono, God, what's the
In
word?
kind.
In kind, that, add up. So I would recommend that, because I think the public should see that and hear that, because oftentimes people get really contentious and mad about paying alders more money or paying the mayor
Yeah.
more money, when we don't really invest that much into it.
And also there is, I don't know if the mayor get paid for the cell phone and allowance, because people think that I get a phone from the city. And I say, no, I using my phone, and then if we have a blog, we send newsletter. I had to pay constant contact. It cost me like $300-400 every quarter. But I do it because I love the city. I want to do this, but because I can do it. But this is why we talk about equity. We want to know how they're going to communicate. You need to maintain a website. You need to maintain a Facebook. You need to graphic designer. You need to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of expenses that we pay that the city doesn't pay. And it's fine. I do it, but then, we put our car. We go to all of the SB and our mileage. We don't have mileage reimbursement here, so. So those $5,000 then a year is not enough. It doesn't cover your expenses. You know what I mean? So, but it's like true. We don't do it for the money, but we need to start. There is a cost associated to this. You know
Well,
what
it's
I mean?
more that it prevents people from
Yeah.
even being able to do this job.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be. Only certain types of people could even
Yeah,
run for this
exactly.
office, because it would be not feasible for a lot of individuals, which is really the bigger overarching issue. You shouldn't have to be somewhat independently wealthy to be an elected official in any city.
Yeah.
I actually am not. It's interesting that this policy somewhat mirrors Sun Prairie, according to what this list here is, in terms of the amount of money is kind of on par. But Sun Prairie specifically talks about
Inflation.
increasing it every year at the pace
Yeah.
of inflation. I'm not uncomfortable with these numbers, although I could see we could have variability.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to add something about, with a recommendation to increase it at a regular rate every year. I don't think we have to necessarily. It might be good to set a policy, but even if it was just on a regular basis, so that we don't have to revisit
Coincide with the other
Yeah.
staff pay increases.
Yeah.
It's really easy
It-
to administer.
Yeah, I mean, it also speaks to the importance of the job, right? Like, we literally make decisions that impact people's lives. So you want to invest in that so that, one, the right people are making decisions, meaning people who actually have lived experience in a variety of spaces, right? Not just retired people, not just white people. I mean, even though we have people of color on our council, not just people without families, not just people with flexible jobs. That just cuts out a lot of people, and those decisions to some extent have the potential to get made in a vacuum because of those barriers to entry. And the urgency of the fact that we guide the budget of the city, we guide the ordinances of the city, we guide the development of the city. Those are very urgent things, and we need to take them seriously, and to take them seriously, I think we need to invest more.
I thought a lot about that with the bus redesign. It's like you have to have a car, So you can't get here on public transit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you literally can't. And I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
ride the bus primarily. I didn't have a car for the first
Yeah.
couple of years I lived here, and it was very inconvenient. And then I would not be able to do this job if I didn't have a car. And so when you talk about like changing bus schedules, and we're supposed to give advice about that, and it's like, well, no one here uses the bus as their primary means of transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true for committees too. People in committees don't use it as their primary means of transportation either. So like, we're not getting the input from the people that actually have that experience. Just one of many examples, but
Yeah, so, yeah, I think if we have the opportunity to do this, if, make changes, we should do it all the correct changes. Incorporate, everything. This is our opportunity.
So then you'll bring this all up on the 14th, right? So
Of course.
Tuesday. Yeah.
You think that we are gonna be shy?
No.
Shy people?
Yeah, we're not shrinking violets.
all right.
Well, Gabriela is in finance committee, so she can also
Yeah, I can
mention
articulate
there all
that
what we talked here.
in finance as well.
But I think I will, also Gabriela mentioned to increase at least $1,000 between the alder and the council president, and should be a little bit more of gap there for the role.
All right, any other comments? Okay, so that's just discussion items,
Yep,
so we can
discussion.
move on to the report from department.
Yeah, so we just completed the bilingual incentive testing. So we have 13 employees that took the test and passed it and are bilingual in Spanish. So we didn't have anybody take it beyond the 13, so all 13 passed.
So now they need to go to me and Joe to see if we do the final approval, isn't it?
Puerto Rican Spanish or Argentinian Spanish? That's the question.
Yeah, and they're video exams, so I'm there talking with someone, and so yeah, very exciting. So everybody has that implemented. And
Who
they
are
got-
those people? Can you tell us? Because it will be great for me, always when I refer to Latinos,
Yeah.
I always say there someone is speaking Spanish in the front desk, so they feel
Absolutely.
comfortable to come.
Yep, we have a list, and so I
Okay.
can send it to the council members. so
Yeah,
you
it will be
know.
great because
Yep.
we know in which department are bilingual
Yep.
people, so, okay.
Exactly. Yep,
Yeah,
I'll
is
send
there,
that your
are
way.
we gonna plan to put that on the website somewhere so it's
That
clear?
would be a
Oh,
bad
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Habla
If they
español.
wanna
Absolutely.
speak
Yeah,
Spanish with somebody, they know who to
yeah,
call.
and
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
Because maybe when you go to the page and some people some people in the department and the people under the department,
Yep.
sometimes they can put hablo español,
Yeah.
or hablo whatever,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean. So people know that that person is bilingual.
Absolutely. Yeah. Make that happen.
Clarifying question. I mean, I know we talked about it when we may have talked about when we talked about the incentive itself, but what are the sort of expectations, and also what are the guardrails in terms of what they're expected to do? The reason I ask that is because this happens in schools often, where an employee who is bilingual may be expected to do things that would be the role of an interpreter or a translator.
That is not the goal.
Okay.
So we're not going to go to them, hey, can you translate this document? We're trying to make marketing materials. Or
Okay.
it's really truly just speaking, and it's in the line of their
Interactive
work.
with
So
clients, yeah.
Carla, for example, Carla Tully is one who tested bilingual in Spanish. So she's up at the front. So the expectation is someone comes to the counter and she speaks with them in Spanish. But also, if there's an emergency, maybe there's someone in the senior center and they need somebody, they can call Carla or anyone on the list,
Yeah.
and then they can go on down there. So it's trying not to add any additional work to their plate just because they're bilingual, but at the same time utilizing their skills when we need it.
Great.
I think in the police department we have more bilingual.
We have a lot. That
Yeah.
was the majority.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was like 11.
Yeah.
We have our city foresters bilingual, and then Carla Tully's.
Well, Anna is bilingual.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I want to start speaking to her
Yeah.
in Spanish.
You should.
I have seen customer service, like at the bank, they'll have signs that say habla español. So
Oh,
people,
okay.
I don't know, maybe that's something for the front desk.
The
at
front
least.
desk, yeah.
I can bring
When
that up
she's
to
there, we can
Yeah.
have that up so there's clarity.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yesenia, did she?
Yesenia, she went to some prairies. So
Oh,
she's
she
been with
did?
some prairies
Okay.
for a
Okay.
year now,
Yeah.
maybe?
Okay.
We miss her, but she.
But Carla is fully bilingual.
Okay.
I have tested her.
And she's been around for
Carla's,
well over a year now.
She took
yeah.
Yesenia's place.
Okay.
And then the organizational review, Baker Tilly's been here all week and has been interviewing people, so one-on-one and in focus groups as well.
What are
So,
the questions that they ask?
they kind of guide the conversation. They ask you about staffing, they ask you about processes, they ask you about communication with other departments, things where you think we could improve upon when it comes to systems and processes.
Yeah, we have 6 minutes.
Yeah, but anyway, FYI that they're here this week, and then next week they're doing some virtual one-on-ones with council members. So you should have a meeting on your calendar for next
Okay,
week.
great.
Yeah, and that is it.
Fabulous. So we can move on to announcements. Are there any other announcements? I don't think we have another meeting scheduled.
It should be. It's May 8th.
May 8th.
Yep. May 8th or May 10th. It's the second Wednesday of the month.
Great. So next meeting will be in May.
Oh my lord.
And we can go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Do I need a motion to adjourn?
You're on
Yes.
brand.
Adjourn. So I'll need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 4:54 p.m.
Thank you.
So you got the color memo, right?
Wow.
Yeah. See?
That's right, I didn't have peeking.